Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is January 16th, 2018, and today is Tuesday morning. So as the week moves on, we've got a few events coming up today. Starting out in United Kingdom, yearly CPI number. Now that's a core price index number. That is an important inflationary number, and it could make and shake the markets. Okay, so that's really an important event to really be aware of, that it's coming out at 11:30. And then 7 o'clock South African time, Swiss National Bank Chairman Jordan will be speaking. That should affect the Swiss franc. Now, lots happening for a Monday, and let's take a look at what happened. So I'm going to jump here to the Dow Jones again because it's just so historical. 25,995. Yesterday the markets were closed. Martin Luther King's birthday. It is a national holiday in the United States that is celebrated for over 20 years. And as such, the banks and the financial institutions were closed yesterday. However, the future markets were already open last night and they were running at the gates. Okay, we're trading at 25,992, all-time highs again, just shy of 26,000. Now that's 1,000 points, okay, since Christmas that we've rallied. Now, generally speaking, January is a bearish month. We usually retrace in January. Now that wasn't the case in this year, and like I said yesterday, we were anticipating maybe 30,000 before the end of the year, and we only have 4,000 left. I mean, we're talking about thousands here. We're not talking about, the market's rallying 100 points or 200 points. This is where people are making some really big money on a daily basis, okay? And if you just follow through, if you just, play the trend, okay, the trend is your friend, and you want to be on the right side of it, obviously, and not be fighting it, okay? Especially if you realize that you're wrong, nip the bud early, cut those losses quick, and then flip it to the long side. Now you have to be a little bit cautious here because the markets have rallied so much, so there's so much more that the markets could rally. I quiver when I say that, but that's the truth. Okay, the Dow Jones hitting all-time highs. Now that's obviously going to affect the dollar, and let's jump to the Euro USD. Euro USD at 123 yesterday, excuse me, and almost breaking out. Now, we've broken out of our yearly high, obviously. If we look at the daily chart, we've broken above this 121-ish level, and we're just, on uncharted territory. We have to go on a weekly chart to see where we're going here. So, obviously, the next real resistance level is 133, okay? So the question is how much further can we go up in the dollar, okay? How much further could the euro go up versus the dollar vis-a-vis the Dow Jones going up? Okay, so those are our two elements, because when the Dow Jones goes up, the dollar goes down. So, it all has to be in comparison, and it has to be relative to each other, but it also has to be in tandem with what else is going on in the economies as well, either inflation or interest rates, central bank interest rates, and so on. So I'm just leaving that as an open note because we may have a correctional move at some point, but at this stage we're really breaking new barrier, so I don't expect that we'll necessarily correct ourselves right away. GBP USD also, cautiously breaking higher, almost on our all-time highs, 138 above the 136-ish level, which we've seen that we've broken above. Okay, this is called a nice breakout. Okay, and it's followed with volume, which is exactly what we're looking for. Again, it's hard to really say how much further we're going to go because there's no real indication here of where there's a previous resistance. We look like we have a previous resistance here, a 138-ish level right up here, but besides that, we're hitting the 142-ish level. Okay, so those are new barriers that we have to be looking at in the dollar. Aussie USD as well, 79.70 and closing in on this 80 level. Okay, so that's our next resistance level in the Aussie USD. That might give us a pivot move for some of the other currencies versus the dollar as well. USD Japanese yen at the bottom of the range of 110. Let's see if this is actually a decent place to actually pick it up to play this range. Looking at gold's trading at 1341, okay, almost all-time highs for a not calendar year, but for a yearly year. Okay, so we're looking at a daily chart here. As you can see, last time we hit 1347-ish level was back in August. So we're really challenging that level. Let's see if we do break out above it. Okay, so far the commodities have been strong, the indices have been strong, and this is really the time of year. So let's take a look. If it does continue, if it does break out, it could certainly go above 1350-ish level. Looking at oil here, Oil has been trading very strong. We spoke about this breakout from the 62.25-ish level, pushing up to 64.49. Again, it's very hard to say how much further we're going to go up here because we don't have that much historical data. And we're looking at a monthly chart here. The next real resistance is maybe 69-ish level. Okay, so if it does break above the $65 range, that's a psychological number. We could see it closing in into $70 a barrel. Now, again, I'm just going to go over the Dow Jones all-time highs at 25,997, almost 26,000. I do expect it, to continue this rally, but let's see if they have a sell-off on this. Well, today would be the first trading day of the week for the Dow Jones. So initially, we may see a sell-off at, when the market opens at 4:30 South African time in, that's when the market opens up in the US. So take a look at that as well. Looking at the DAX, hasn't broken up higher, 13,189. Not showing that much strength, but let's see if we do get that gap up this morning, okay, and see an extended rally for there. Nikkei at all-time highs as well. So I'm comfortable with the Dow Jones breaking out higher because the Nikkei is very strong, okay, even though the DAX has been, lagging behind. The DAX seems to catch up, when the Dow Jones seems to, continue its pivot up. So, again, my consensus is bullish, but be, cautious as we're making these all-time highs. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.